Alrighty everyone, it is now January 22nd of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars Episode 9, a lot of fans have been very hopeful or intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise, ever since fans got a taste of Star Wars The Mandalorian, showing us proof that Disney and Lucasfilm really can make great Star Wars material. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, like The Mandalorian, they are really trying to make very interesting and very, I guess you could say, original content that we have never seen before. The Mandalorian basically gave us a new era of Star Wars. It's basically in between the originals and the sequels, an unexplored era that, to me, I think is a very interesting side of the story because it's when the Empire is over. But now, looking into the future, Disney and Lucasfilm are trying to find ways in order to fill in the gaps in between many of the Skywalker saga films and many of those different eras. We're talking about the prequel era, the original trilogy era, and the sequel trilogy era. So all these different eras will be explored and new stories will be told in between those actual trilogy films. So when we look at Star Wars by Disney and Lucasfilm, this is exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to make things up for the fans and satisfy fans. And one exciting thing all has to do with actor Mark Hamill and the character of Luke Skywalker that so many fans know and love that they wish could have done better in the actual sequel trilogy, such as in The Last Jedi. Now, with that being said, now that Disney and Lucasfilm have released The Rise of Skywalker and are primarily focused on the future of Star Wars and where it's going for Disney Plus and movies, they are looking for ways to reunite the fans and the fans that had issues with the sequel trilogy era to make things right for the Star Wars franchise. It's explained that they have over 10 years worth of Star Wars projects currently in the works that are both in the form of live action and animated content that are going to take fans into new eras of the franchise. One of the big plans for Disney is to fix elements of the franchise is by bringing back actor Mark Hamill for a handful of projects to save the Star Wars franchise, and they have plans to bring back the character of Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian Season 2, which is now filming, where they plan to de-age him to show the fans a version of Luke some years after the events of Episode 6 in order to tease one of their TV shows that is currently in early development, such as the Young Luke Skywalker TV series that they're trying to develop, and that they actually have a plan in place to bring back Mark Hamill for that in some way, shape, or form. Additionally, they also plan to bring back Mark Hamill for another untitled project for Disney Plus for the character of Luke Skywalker, and that this is Disney's way of making the fans happy for Star Wars after what happened with Luke in The Last Jedi and how little Luke there was in Episode 9. They also plan to make Luke as strong as he was in the old expanded universe, with their new Star Wars universe for future books, novels, plus other forms of canon material as well. But this is a transition for Lucasfilm to treat Star Wars with special care after realizing the divided fan base. So, like I say, this is obviously Disney and Lucasfilm being very desperate. Now, is that necessarily a bad thing? Not necessarily, but it does show us that Disney and Lucasfilm have had a great weakness with the Star Wars sequel trilogy movies, that they now realize that they have to patch things up and really fix elements of the franchise, and that Mark Hamill has to save Star Wars in a sense by bringing him back in multiple forms of canon and also in multiple forms of projects. So, Disney Plus is the future of Star Wars, it seems, right? Aside from the movies, that really is their other big priority, aside from the books and the novels. The fact that they're trying to bring back Mark Hamill in live action, such as in The Mandalorian Season 2, and how they want to incorporate him somehow, some way into the Young Luke Skywalker TV series that is in early development as we speak, just in the talks right now, but they have over 10 years worth of live action material, and that really does say something about Disney. I think it does match directly up with how they canceled a lot of Star Wars movies after the Solo Star Wars Story box office flop, and they transitioned many of those movies to become TV shows. It's very possible that they were originally going to make a young Luke Skywalker movie, similar to how they made a young Han Solo movie, right? So that's the thing here with Episode 9, is that this really was the end of the Skywalker saga, and now they're dealing with the future. Now they have to deal with everything that they have to do for original content, series, movies, you name it. So, what do I make about all of this? Is this really, a desperate attempt by Disney and Lucasfilm because of the backlash? Or is this just because they are losing money? To a certain extent, right? Because The Rise of Skywalker, say what you will, it doesn't seem like it's going to make as much as The Last Jedi did. at the worldwide, box office speaking, of course. That is, of course, a big sign that this movie did not perform as well because there's less repeat viewings. I myself was one of them. I only saw the movie twice. In comparison to The Force Awakens, I saw roughly 5 times, I believe, and with Rogue One, I think I saw that 4 times. The Last Jedi I saw only 2 times as well. And the Solo: A Star Wars Story film I saw once in theaters. So you can see how, at least with me, and I'm sure a lot of it has to do with other people out there, is that there's less repeat viewings with the Star Wars movies. They really have to up their game with, of course, TV shows, because now, of course, they have to rely on people subscribing to Disney Plus and everything around it in that sense. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.